Hello everyone. This podcast is being recorded after 2 months from our last published video, and today I am going to talk about ChatGPT, GPT 3.5, GPT-4, and the test that I did using Midjourney. So let's start. Welcome to the channel. Who Captain channel. In these last 2 months, there were some upgrades in the GPT model. Sam Altman went to some TV and YouTube shows to talk about AGIs and superintelligence, talking about how the industry, how our day-to-day jobs are going to change. And it has been another movement from people like Elon Musk and TV Wozniak, claiming that we should stop research that involve large language models like GPT and the ones from Meta, Google, and other companies, giant companies. And this movement is claiming that this kind of research being handled like a market competition. So each company wants to get at the first place first, and this could impact our society. The technology is impacting and will impact our society, but their claim is that if we rush into it, this impact could be worst or catastrophic to humanity, and that's why they are asking these companies to stop the research for 6 months. But recently, in the last days, Bill Gates also started a movement in the other direction, claiming that we have to continue the research, but as we do it, try to create some kind of rules and laws and agreements between countries and between societies to prevent this impact to like extinguish humanity life on Earth, right? But these are the news, the things that we are encountering now with more frequency in TV, news, newspapers, and portals of news. And so AI is now being treated as the new hype, and we are talking about it frequently. Okay, but coming back to what I said in the first part, is that I've been dealing with GPT in my day-to-day, my work, and for some side projects like Hook Captain, and it's helped me to do day-to-day tasks like format this data as JSON, or format this data, refactor this data to extract just the titles of the chapters and not the sections for this book. And this is the list of all titles and chapter sections from the book. So I am using for different purposes. And what I have to say is that now that we are more used to it, it's not like, at least me, I'm not treating it as a common thing. I still get impressed with the results that GPT returns to me as an user, but we are getting used to it in a way that is part of our day-to-day tools. I started to pay for it because sometimes I try to get access, but I couldn't. So they released a subscription of ChatGPT Plus for $20. And for me, it's worth, because I use it my day-to-day job, and it helps me and saves me some time. And sometimes it's a lot of time. So it's useful, and it's the ROI, return on investment, is good. So until now, how I am using it? I'm using it for formatting text, as I said, for helping me in technological and development solutions, almost replacing Stack Overflow and Google, as I said in some videos ago, but not 100%. Now I can realize that it is a creative tool, so it does not have source of the content that it's generated. So you can't believe in the information that ChatGPT is handling to you, is delivering to you, because it can't be a fantasy of his mind, because it's a creative tool. So it has reasoning and logic based on the data that it was trained. But from that point until the delivery, everything is based on its reasoning, its own logic that no one knows how it's built, not even creators. They know how they built it, the architecture, but not the logic inside, the resultant logic, right? But in short, you can't believe in everything. Sometimes you ask, for example, I asked it to list 5 competitors from a company and list the revenue in the last year and how many page site views they had last year. And it listed to me 5 competitors with the revenue and the page views. But in the end, the information that was delivered was not correct. But it was close, but some of them was not even close, like 100%, 50% difference between the actual result and what ChatGPT sent to me. And part of the information I couldn't find in Google, for example. So I believe that it was from GPT model imagination. So you can believe 100%. I experienced this behavior sometimes now. Now I am vaccinated, so I can treat the technology, the tool, as it should. But if you have knowledge about the context, about the matter that you are asking for, then it's very better, because you know what result you can believe, what's helping you, or if the delivery, the response is not what you expect. For example, a code. Give me a code that do this thing using this language. You copy and paste, and you see that's not 100% working, but you have knowledge to change some things and get it to work. So, and this is very useful. You can use the response even though it's not completely correct. I'm using most part of the time I'm using GPT 3.5, because the speed is 5 out of 5 according to OpenAI, and GPT-4 the speed is not that good. And as my requests are not that complex, I am using the older version, but they say that GPT-4 is 100 times more efficient in complex requests. So in the future, I'll start to use it to complete the request. Some other things that I learned in the interviews and as I study the matter is that the prompt engineering is a growing field, because it can change every part of the response. The context is too important as well. The context put inside the prompt. For example, pretend you are a marketing specialist, or pretend you are an average person in the street, and do that, and do the same thing. So when you provide context, the model, the response is totally different. So prompt engineering is a field that's growing. I can feel in Tainan interview that they use a base model, right? But for example, and this model is GPT, okay? But for example, ChatGPT is a product that uses the model, but has a lot of other improvement. Fine-tuning is one of them. It's a matter that I have to study more. But filtering, human reinforcement. So my feeling is that for example, for ChatGPT, they are using a lot of many techniques to accomplish the result that are not elegant, right? So they are using a pipeline of things. They pass the data into that pipeline to delivering the message to the model or to the user, the input and the output. And one part that they do this is for filtering, for example, aggressive messages or things that are not ethical, that people could use the model to do bad things that we don't want to. So it's like a middleware. And in the same subject, I would say that I have to explore more the basic model, because a friend of mine, Lucas Bernardus, is creating an application use GPT, and he connected the API to the basic model, and I could see that it's very different from what we have in ChatGPT. In good and bad way. The good way is that I tried some requests, and the context is more strong than what we have in ChatGPT. I started with a request, and then I asked a thing that it was not similar to the first request. But in Bernard's solution, the GPT model answered with a related. The answer was related to the first request with the first response, even though my second request was not. So this can be good. This means that ChatGPT has a fine-tuning that you can do your own way using their basic model, and to, for example, use more or less context to tell the model to answer in different ways using human reinforcement. So this is good, and this is good and bad. So you can guess that the bad part is, well, it doesn't consider the context, and it is answering wrongly, right? But it's good and bad. So this part I had to research, because fine-tuning of this LLM would be great for a lot of applications. You could create instances of the models and provide a pipeline of AI that is more niche, it's more specific for small tasks, and has more structured data. So each part of the pipeline can be used more like as a process. We think today in software as processes, right? Do this and that and deliver this result. But the AGI from ChatGPT, for example, the model, it's generalist, so you can't really tell the model to deliver me using exactly this form. It will deliver for the first time, but then if you ask it again, it will deliver other kind of format or things that you don't want, and this is not always good, right? So this is a part that we can leverage for different applications than ChatGPT. And in the last part, I would like to... So I finished the comments about GPT and ChatGPT. I think these are my learnings so far. It's an incredible tool. I have to continue to use it in my day-to-day and try to explore it for regular tasks, for more knowledge tech, trying to use it to help me to reason, not only as a database, as Sam Altman said, or as a formatter, or anyway, these kind of things that we are using to replace Google by it, but it has a lot of new resources and capabilities that we are not used to consume from technology, but we have to. The other kind of tool that I want to talk about is Midjourney. Midjourney is using AI to handle images generation. So from a prompt, using some words separated by commas, it can create images, any image that you want. For example, a woman wearing a red dress, or a cat, or a pirate in pixel art, or a bubble with blue background. And it's really it impressed me because it can generate things that are inside my mind. Its precision is not that good. I have to iterate sometimes to get the image that I really wanted, that it was inside my mind. But in this case, I also believe that it can be improved on their side, but the prompt engineering can be put in place to get better results. Really, you can write anything, so it's really hard to know what you have to write to get the image that is inside your mind, right? So people are using, for example, ChatGPT to help to generate inputs and prompts for Midjourney, but I could get images that were like images that I wanted, but there's a lot of noise as well, a lot of images that go in other directions. It's great because it's great to experiment, because you can see that, for example, I was asking for a pirate to replace the logo that we have here in Hookcat, and for some prompts it generated real pirates, and I would like some pixel art like we have here, or parts that remind me games, but Midjourney generated a lot of different kinds of pirates, so it's very creative, but it's a lot of noise, so you have to know how to ask it. And there's another thing that I would like to comment, is that you can feed it with images with hosted images, uploaded images. You can feed Midjourney inside the prompt with the URL of the image. So it's another input besides the prompt that you can put into it. So Midjourney can get a context of what you are asking for. For example, you find a site, a template of a website in Google, for example. Then you copy that image, paste it in Midjourney, and ask it to create a site like that, but in orange and red, with a more modern design, some other things. So you can use other images as input besides the text. And that's it for Midjourney, but I also think that's an incredible tool that it's very useful. You can get a lot of ideas for your creations, your own creation, and it's very, very nice. So to summarize, in the last 2 months, I am working with these large language models, image generators that use AI. I can't see myself not using them anymore, so I think it's part of our lives as society from now on. I'm trying to understand it so I can make use of it in my day-to-day life, but as well in this project, Hookcat, and trying to see what we can do, what we can't do, what we can compose with other older tools that can become exponential and more productive, using parts of the process integrated with this kind of model. And it's hard to do it because everyone is doing it. And so I try to consume content from YouTube, from Twitter, and articles, trying to read some books, but there are not many books talking about it yet. So we are in the beginning of this new era. I compare it, the AI era, with the blockchain cryptocurrency has. I'm not in this new hype. I'm in the hype, but I consider the older hypes like cryptocurrency, not the metaverse. I never believed the metaverse, but Web 3.0, that is my version of the metaverse. So I think that these all are part of what, but these all are subjects that we have to study and being in touch with every day, because it's growing fastly, quickly. To use it in our projects, we have to know what they do and how we can use them, right? So this is Tainan Fidelis. I'm talking from Maringá, Paraná, Brazil. This is the Hook Captain channel. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and like this video, and see you in the next few days. I will try to make more videos. It was 2 months from the last one, and a lot of things happened, and the idea for this channel is not to stay long times of thinking and studying without sharing it here, because in the end this is a dev file, the development file, where I and we should share the things, the thoughts, the reasoning of the moment, so we can know at every moment, each moment, the journey, what decisions were made and why. When we look back, we can know why. So that's why it's important to do it frequently. This is my excuse request. See you later.